I grew up just like flipping through pages in photo albums and just kind of wanting to travel through time through these pictures and wanting to kind of immerse myself in the stories of the people and their lives and the parts of the pictures that excited me and drew my attention. And at the time, that wasn't necessarily a conscious thought, but it was just something that I was so attracted to and so drawn to. The fact that film photography is able to elicit such emotion in a way that digital photography often doesn't. And I think it's just the literal physicality of it and the physicality of how you take the photo and how the photo is developed and the chemicals that go into it. It's energy being transferred from one place to the other, from the person in the 3D space onto the 2D film that's literally just captured by light. It's just like such a magical thing, so incredible and so exciting and cool. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of it, to be quite honest. And I'm always learning. Even just every time I load a roll of film, I get this excitement of learning how to do it a little bit better each time, and the different cameras that I use, whether rangefinder or point and shoot or just a mechanical film camera. It's just exciting to be able to interact with these different pieces of machinery in new ways, when at the end of the day it's the same medium that it comes down to. It's the film. I'm super excited after some time to get into medium format because it'll be a whole new frontier. But just film in general, just film's essence and energy and the finickiness of it sometimes, and storing it in the fridge, it's just got this level of mysticism that I just love, that just makes me so happy. And I don't know, each picture matters so much to me. When I'm able to pull out my camera and take pictures, especially on my film cameras, which is really all that I take pictures on, that I actually am being more present, that I'm being aware of the feeling that I'm experiencing and then wanting to capture it. So while I'm somewhat removing myself from the presence of the moment, I'm so present that I'm aware that this is a moment that needs to be captured. And I think that's something that a lot of photographers experience and feel, especially if they're photographers like myself, who are very much mood, emotional driven photographers. And in my opinion, I think you get a certain quality that kind of translates through your pictures when you take them out of the desire to capture something that is fleeting, that you want to then re-trigger in yourself in a later time, or hopefully trigger in someone else a related feeling for themselves when they look at your work. And that's really all that you could ever ask. What's up? So today I've received something very exciting in the mail. It is film for my Super 8 camera. And right now I'm really just in a state of like perpetual ideation. But it's been so beautiful, and it's actually after just grab my film out of the fridge. A little film compartment. But it's been interesting. I feel like the state of the world is just this feeling of the winds of change. Like that's this idea that's like coming to me. And it's very much indicative of how I feel about my life right now. And it's very much how I feel about the world as well. I feel like the way that the world is shifting is also extremely reflective in my personal life. And I think that's true for a lot of people, but it's like incredibly true for myself. Oh my God. It's my first time unwrapping Super 8 film. I'm on my phone because I literally can't find an SD card for my camera. I don't know what I did with it. Ooh. This is exciting. This is 50D color negative Kodak film. Color negative 50D daylight film. And we're going to load it. Are there directions? I think you just connect the film up with that inside. It's the only thing that makes sense. So this is really expensive, so I hope it works. So the winds of change. It's been what I've been feeling. And I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself in every aspect of my life. Literally every single aspect. Oh, it's cold. The winds of change. It's windy. It's cold. It's been rather warm for October, and then this hurricane Zeta came through, and now it feels like it's fully fall. It's like this complete, it's like in every way it feels like this resistance to change, and then like a major, oh, that scared me. We have an automatic door lock now, so I'm still not used to it. But in every way, you know, it's like this resistance to change, and then something major comes through and just like pushes it to a point where it can't resist. And, you know, sometimes it's a positive outcome, and well, I think it's always an outcome. Whether you interpret it as positive or negative is one thing or another. But yeah, so I'm just gonna shoot because I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself. I've been putting a lot of expectation and a lot of like needing for it to be like this masterpiece of perfection, instead of it just being like me doing what I always do, which is just seeing beauty in the world and capturing it and making something cool. So that's what I'm gonna do. of the struggles that we've had over the last few years, over the last like decade, have kind of culminated in this like, okay, you've passed this big level, you've reached, a lot of little peaks, and now you're reaching like a huge peak. But to get to that peak, you have to climb. And, we're not done climbing. And once we get to that peak, it's only one part of the entire mountain of life, so summiting one part of the mountain doesn't mean that, that's it forever. It's just that you have to keep looking up. You have to keep looking towards, what is next in your life, and also appreciate what you've done.